Hi everybody, my name is Sarah Kuhns. I am a senior at Cal State Long Beach, and I am hoping and praying that we can still walk if it's postponed, but just trying to get this last semester over with. It's been a long ride, but I'm so blessed to be where I am today. And I am also really excited that I am taking this intercultural class because it's so cool. And thank you, Professor, for allowing us to create a video and talk about our backgrounds and our ethnic heritage and stuff. So I'm kind of going to do this video based on the prompt our professor gave us and kind of just go through it and read and explain each step she wants us to do. Instead of just writing a whole bunch of stuff down, you just talk and kind of get comfortable. So I am going to get into race, ethnic heritage, some personal identities, and then I'm going to talk about maybe share a little story from what I remember, and yeah. So I am white. I was born in the United States along with my mom and my dad and my brother, who are all white as well, and was very fortunate to grow up in a home with a roof and food and two parents, because I know some kids don't have that, and that's very sad and very unfortunate, but I'm just very thankful to be where I am today. So I'm going to start off by kind of giving just some facts about my family and just, yeah, talk. So my grandpa was actually born in Sweden, and his family and him both came to the United States, I think at the age of 6 or 7, to have a better life and to just, live how they lived back then. Very long time ago. My grandma was actually born in Germany, and she also came here, but she was 1 or 2, so she obviously doesn't recall how the process was. I'm sure it was a lot easier back then than it was now. But yeah, so they both were not born in the US, which is really cool, because I remember when I was 4 or 5, my mom went back to work before that, but my grandpa and grandma both would watch me and babysit me. And at the time, my grandma spoke fluent German, so she tried teaching me, but it didn't work because I couldn't really tell you anything. I couldn't say anything in German right now, unless I got on the phone with her and, tried to remember some things. It was really cool. As a kid, I spoke almost fluent Spanish. My mom had brought over our nanny from Mexico, and she got her a green card and basically just helps her live a better life. And she lived with us for so long, and she truly is the most amazing person that I can think of. And I don't know where I would be without her, but she was just so great. Her name was Lulu. So, some personal self-identities that I thought of. My first one on my list was caring and a loving person. I feel as if I have always been just such a loving person, and I care for every single one of my friends and my family. Always there for them, always will answer the phone, no matter what. I feel like that's just kind of how I was raised, and I will continue to have that identity forever. Another one is I am somebody who gives back. So love giving back, love donating, love helping, and just being there for people in need. And I've always given back. Actually, I remember that my family every single year would go to a shelter, a homeless shelter, and just serve food, and just experiencing that is something that I feel like every person in this world should do at least one point in their life, because it is so amazing to just see the looks on their faces, and they just need so much help. So I think that is really important to me. And so yes, I give back a lot, very often. Like I said before, I think I'm a huge family girl. Actually, I don't think I said that, but I'm a huge family girl. Love hanging out with my family, love being around them and creating memories and just sharing love and creating just new important memories to look back on, especially because life is so short and you never know when it's going to be taken from you. Another identity that explains me is athletic. I am very, very athletic and have been since I was a child. I remember I played every sport and stuck with cheerleading. So I was a cheerleader. I actually got into competition cheer and basically traveled around the US and competed against other really big and known teams for competition cheer. Then when it came to high school, started doing high school cheer, stopped competition, and then I got hurt and have a really bad back, so thank you, cheer. So I stopped cheering after I graduated, and I work out every single day. Actually, through this very hard time right now, I know it's really hard being in the house, so I purchased a cycling, like a stationary bike, and that's what I've been doing every day. I have one day off, but very athletic, healthy food consumer, love eating healthy, love cooking. I've never cooked so much in my entire life in the past month. So next I'm going to get into a basically just like a statement that everybody's heard of and something that kind of got to me at one point, but I tried to not let it get to me. And people have always, I don't know why people are just so mean, especially like in school, but I was always called a dumb blonde. I mean, at least some point I know most blondes have been called that, but I feel like when you're younger it hits harder rather than like a teenager sometimes, or even in your early 20s. So I tried to never let it get to me because I always knew I was and still am a very smart person, and that's why I am where I am today, and why I'm going to Cal State Long Beach, because I pushed myself and I never gave up. So next I'm going to get into something that I feel like is very important to share. So I think I became most aware of race at the age of 5 to 6 maybe. When I was in kindergarten going into first grade, I met this black girl and her name was Shelby. I just remember us laughing like constantly and just playing and being kids, and we were really, really, really close, and she was black. And the day that I met her, I went home and I was talking to my mom, and I told her, because she was like, how was your day? Told her how I made a new friend and her name was Shelby, and that she was so fun and that I wanted to have a future play date with her. So when Shelby's mom brought her over to my house, I think a couple weeks later, my mom obviously noticed that she was black, and my mom thought it was the coolest thing ever that I didn't even have to mention her skin color, because it truly didn't matter to me, even as a 5-year-old, and it still doesn't, but she thought that it was the coolest thing, and Shelby and I remained friends until I transferred schools. We still kept in touch. We actually still keep in touch to this day, and she's such a great person. I'm so thankful for elementary school, like basically creating our friendship. I just truly believe that everyone in this world is equal and no one is higher than another person. So I think last but not least, I am going to end this video with basically just on a positive note that Race is definitely a huge thing, and it's always been a huge thing, and I think to not be racist is also very important, and I think that everybody should keep their opinions to themselves if it is something bad that like you are thinking, or just something about a certain race. So with that being said, I enjoyed making this video, and I definitely learned a lot by watching other people's videos, and like learned where they came from, and kind of just like obstacles that they faced, and other things that really caught my eye. And it's really cool to see how people can become emotional and share such deep stories. And yeah, so thank you again, Professor, for allowing us to have this cool assignment. Bye, everybody.